Well, happy Preakness. This is Frank Vespi from theracingbiz.com, and I'm here with Gabby Gaudet. Gabby is, well, let's call her the Maryland Jockey Club's handicapper in waiting. She's going to take over the position from the near legend Frank Carulli, who's leaving Maryland following the Pimlico meet. And Gabby, who is sharpening her skills and getting really good, agreed to sit down with us and give us some selections on the pick four. The pick four, the late pick four today, is a $1.5 million guarantee, so there's a lot of money on the table, and hopefully Gabby will tell us how to get our share of it.
I hope so too. It's a great bet today. As I think you mentioned, it's a guaranteed $1.5 million bet, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
actually.
It's a lot of money. Somebody's going to be really happy.
Someone's going to be very happy.
Let's hope it's us.
All those live tickets in race 12, before race 12 goes off, I'm sure there's going to be a couple people shaking. So,
and a lot of people probably singled to Orb if they get there.
Yes.
So the first race of the sequence is the Grade 3 Gaudet, which is a mile and a 16th on the grass for fillies and mares 3 and up. And briefly, Gaudet, as you may or may not know, was a Maryland bred who just got put in the Maryland Thoroughbred Hall of Fame. She was just a monster filly who ran at least 51 times against males in her career, always at the highest levels, and usually more than holding her own. Mm-hmm. So, not sure there's a Gaudet in here, but it's a pretty interesting race, actually, a pretty wide open race. What are you thinking about?
I actually really like number 6, Embarr. This horse, I gave her first, or she gave me my first stakes interview, actually, officially on the job. So after the race, I went down and I interviewed her, and the connections and everything like that. And this mare loves the Pimlico turf. If it's anything, she loves this turf. And then obviously you have number 4, Samitar, for Chad Brown, who won the Pimlico Special here yesterday. So, and
all he does is throw grass winners out there.
Yes, absolutely. So I don't think you can leave that horse out of the mix. And number 3 for Pianist for Chad Brown is also an intriguing horse at 4-1 morning line. What are you thinking about in this race?
Well, I mean, those are really good selections, and Embarr's a nice call there. I think you got to look a little bit at Old Tune, who pretty much puked in the Jenny Wiley, but before that had 2 Grade 3 wins in a row, and fairly decisively.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a live horse. I think this is actually a really interesting
Not
race.
to mention Joel Rosario is on a huge winning streak.
Right, and has he lost ever recently?
I don't know. Yeah. Not in the big ones.
It's a long time, it seems like. Any thought on Charge Cotton, the Sagamore homebred?
I kind of looked over this horse, but looking back at that race, Embarr beat her, and if you watch that replay, she was the clear winner in that race. I mean, she ran solidly. I don't know, I think I may be wrong, as you know, but I think she might be, kind of not tailing off, but not in her peak season right now. So I'm going to look elsewhere at Embarr. I really like this horse. This is probably going to be one of my best bets of the day.
Okay, so it's the 6 and then maybe the 3 and 4 in your mix. Mm-hmm. Is that about right?
Yes.
All right. Then we move to the 10th, which is the Maryland Sprint Handicap. That's a Grade 3 going 3/4, and this is a pretty good field they got here for this race.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about this. Just to kind of touch base, I guess, I love number 3, Manito. I mean, I don't know why, but I really do like this horse. I mean, he's going for his, 5th consecutive win today, and actually last time out, everyone liked the horse Pass You Bye Bye. He was a big favorite. Obviously, this horse was bet down to favorite, but everyone was saying, oh, he's going to get beat today.
Right.
Which Pass You Bye Bye is a excellent horse. He actually won a big stake at Monmouth the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
At a little bit of a price. So
there was not one step in that race where Pass You Bye Bye had a chance to win, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Manito was gone,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
that was the end of that race. Even though it was only half a length at the end, it was not that close.
I'm trying to look at some of the others. When this horse can get the lead, he gets the lead and goes all the way. If he can't, then that's a problem. And looking at some of these other races, I didn't really look at speed, but I mean the 10 has speed.
Action Andy. The
Action
one
Andy
some
has speed, and the rail he'll probably go for it. But so I think that's one of the main factors in the race is who is going to go to the lead. If Manito does, I think he could do a gate 2-hour performance.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else you think if there's a pace up front, is there anybody you looked at to maybe run into it?
A closer that I'm kind of throwing into the mix is Immortal Eyes. This horse has run 2 good races at Charlestown in recent form, but I honestly do think I've spoken to the trainer before, we're good friends with Damon Dilladavico, and I do think this horse likes the 6 furlongs better than the 4.5.
Well, now that's interesting. Why do you say that? He's 3 for 23 at 6 furlongs and 10 for 18 at every other distance.
If you look at some of these races, okay, Il Volano, Ben's Cat that he got beat by. But you go back to the Francis Dash and Action Andy beat him. So he's kind of a tricky horse.
He's a good horse, there's no
but
question.
You are right. Sometimes his chart can kind of, bounce up and down, but I think today could be his day. Another horse's chart who bounces kind of, the horse that I actually, sometimes, as soon as I don't pick Action Andy, he seems to beat me.
He wins.
Yes, exactly. Like down here, when if you look at some of his odds, 4-1, 10-1, and then he's kind of beaten favorite the last 2 times he was.
Yep.
So
there you have it. Whatever she says about Action Andy, do the opposite. You should be good
exactly.
to go.
And with all my family horses picks, because I am on not a very good roll with that. Every time I say, oh yeah, no, don't pick my sister or my mom's horse, they wind up winning, and the opposite, vice versa.
Well, now we know how to handle that. One other thing I'd say about Immortal Eyes, which sort of gets to your point, is I think that last race was sneaky good. I mean, he didn't break, he was nowhere at all, and he circled and got second.
Checked, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that going 4.5. If you don't break, you're done. So
especially at
second,
Charlestown.
Yeah.
I mean, those tight turns is...
So, all right, so to recap that, then, you are on the 3 in particular in this race.
I like the 3, I like the 5. I don't think you should throw out the 10. Do you think so? For Rudy Rodriguez?
No.
Johnny B?
I think that horse is...
I think you have to keep that horse.
I'm not sure how short I take odds on him, but I
Exactly.
think you got to at
to
least
save
give him some
yourself.
thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another great race, and that I had talked with Coley Blind, the stakes coordinator here, a week or 2 ago, and he said he thought this race was going to come up really good, and it did. It's the Dixie, the Grade 2.
Yeah.
$300,000 Dixie going 9 furlongs on the turf, and there's a lot of ways to go in this race. Which way are you going?
It's a very tough race. I actually know the exercise rider for Howe Great, so I've been actually kind of speaking to her a little bit recently, and she said that this horse is in great form right now. I mean, just on the bridle, really training well. So, and sits on a win confidence booster last time out at Keeneland. So, I'm not leaving Howe Great out of my pick 4, but I do like Imaging for Shug McGahee. Hopefully he can get a couple winners on the day. What do you think about Optimizer?
I think Optimizer he's a nice horse. I think you got to give him some serious consideration.
He's so
I don't
versatile.
hold finishing second by 4 lengths to Wise Dan against him. I mean,
Absolutely
what's
not.
Wise Dan in here? 1-9. So
The thing about that was I actually looked at that replay, and he did have a little bit of an unprepared start. I don't think it was much of a factor. So if you're trying to find an excuse for that, I don't think that was an excuse at all. I watched the replay and he broke, but I don't think it was much of a factor. I do think the yielding turf course was a factor. I mean, it was bogged down so badly. So that's definitely something to pay attention to when you do choose this horse. But Wise Dan, obviously horse of the year, second best to him is first in my book.
Yeah, right. I think one other horse that I'm going to play around with a little bit here, as much as I hate horses named for Philadelphia sports figures, is the 3, Utley.
You know what? He actually scratched.
Then I'm not going to use him. Any thought on Skyring, who actually won a race here last year on this weekend, on this course?
I actually didn't pay attention to this horse very much. Just kind of overlooked him. Obviously, I mean, he's a nice horse. He's 0 for 4 at the distance. If you pay attention to that, I don't know. I honestly didn't pay. I just kind of brushed over him, and I think there are some other horses at a price that you could throw into the mix, like Howe Great and Imogene is morning line 5 to 1. So maybe you can get a little bit of money on that one.
Gotcha. Well, that gets us to the big race, and
The big one.
the big one, the Preakness, the $1 million grade
roll,
one,
please.
mile and 3/16, Preakness, named for a horse who was named for a farm in New Jersey. Fun fact. And as far as everybody goes, I was at the sale the other day, and everybody I asked said Orb.
Everyone that I've asked has said Orb, and that was a lot of people. There was only one person that didn't pick Orb, and that was, and he's got a lot of money on the line. I think he was the one who won the $50,000 express bet pick challenge. I think that's what it was. So he's betting a lot of money, and he went to, I think, last time I heard, he went to It's My Lucky Day.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Now, we've got a... we did a Preakness Grand giveaway, the Racing Biz plus Mid-Atlantic Thoroughbred and Maryland Horse Breeders. So Tim Hackerman, who's our lucky winner, is going to have a $1,000 win bet on one horse in the Preakness.
Do you know who he chose?
Well, he was going back and forth because the question is, do you put the money on the horse you think is going to win, even if it's Orb and it's just 4 to 5 and you just take the money and you're happy, or do you try to make a killing and go to, say, Oxbow, who's 14 to 1? And
Absolutely.
he's weighing those options. What do you think?
I would not like to be sitting on that decision, quite honestly.
Sure you would. It's $1,000
well,
of somebody else's money.
It's free. Yeah, technically it's free. But I'm jumping on I've been on Orb's bandwagon for so long, and I'm sticking to him. I'm really hoping for a Triple Crown winner this year, as is everyone.
Including Bob Baffert. He said that yesterday. He said, if you're not rooting for Orb, there's something mentally wrong with you. That's what he said.
That's funny. You know what? And everyone speaks so highly of the McGaheys, and it's just, it would be amazing for them to get the Triple Crown, legends in the horse racing industry.
Sure.
So I'm definitely picking Orb on top, but I also, I guess you could say my superfecta in this race is I like Orb, Departing.
Boy, he's the buzz horse.
Yeah, he is. He's gotten really popular recently. Governor Charlie and my Lute. Those are my top 4. So
I saw my Lute galloping yesterday. It's a nice looking animal. It really gets across the ground nicely. Nothing on the Lucas horses?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out the pace here. We have obviously Oxbow, Gary Stevens. I believe he said that this horse runs a lot better on the lead. So I'm thinking that he's probably going to try to send. But then you have Titletown.
Golden Sense is going.
Yeah, Golden Sense has a lot of speed. Titletown 5 showed speed going the 7 furlongs, and then the mile and an eighth, and that
Lucas made noises about taking back with him, but
yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be a bad decision, but you've got some sneakers in here, so I don't really know how the pace is going to set up. I think it's all of these. I don't think it's good to judge who's. I think it's all about strategies and the trainers talking to the jockeys, who's going to send, who's going to hold, those types of things. If that's the case, a lot of people, have spoken about how the one hole is a negative for Orb. I don't really see that as being a factor. If you look back, people like to throw out statistics, how, such and such horses haven't won from the one hole in so long, but I actually did some digging and did my homework, and all of those horses were 80 to 1, 130 to 1. So that's not a real legitimate
they're running
statistic.
To the rods.
Exactly. It hasn't been the favorite. So I don't think that'll be a problem. He has 2 speed horses to his outside, so I think he could get a good setup. And if he doesn't win, I don't know.
It's all Orb. All in on Orb.
And I think Departing is going to run super today too.
Okay. Well, there you have it. The pick 4 from Gabby Gaudet. Gabby, thank you so much.
Thank you.